Tito says hello and welcome to the 5th episode of the Taylor Talking Podcast. Oh God, my voice is really deep. Why do I sound so deep?
I think you're still getting over the rock concert.
Yeah. So, since we've last talked, Drew took me to go see Falling in Reverse in concert. It was fucking epic. It's like one of my all-time favorite bands. I've been listening to Ronnie Radke since he was in Escape the Fate. So I was uber stoked. And he kept it a secret. I had no fucking clue. Here he comes. The man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah.
Drew, welcome to the Taylor Talking Podcast.
Oh, I'm being careful, but
I know. Don't hit the table.
Thanks for having me.
Even though we live together, whatever.
Again.
So, yeah, that concert was fucking rad, man.
It was awesome. Like, the fact that I did keep it a secret.
For like 3 months.
Like, probably longer than that. But anyway, all the way up until the day of. So we live in Des Moines, and the concert was in Cedar Rapids, which is where Taylor used to live, and her parents live there. And we have been there a couple times. And where we were going to see the concert, they usually have a big billboard on the
giant
side.
neon billboard, yeah.
And they announce like the upcoming concert. So the last time we were there a couple months ago, I had to distract her as we were coming to town.
So I didn't see the billboard.
Yeah, so she wouldn't see the billboard.
And it worked because I didn't even know these people were, I didn't even know Falling in Reverse was touring at the moment.
But the weekend we went, it did not work, and she saw the billboard.
It was literally like, my eyes were laser focused the second, and it's like a rotating billboard, so it doesn't show the same thing the whole time. Here, cheers.
Oh, yeah. Cheers.
Clink. Anyways, so yeah, the ad for Under Oath, Ice Nine Kills, and Falling in Reverse comes up. I was like, is that what we're going to do? And he played it off so smooth. He's like, no, it'd be really cool if that was what we were doing, though.
Yeah, a little bit of me died inside because I was watching her watch the billboard.
I got so excited.
But I played it off decent.
Yeah, and then we get to my parents' house, and I tell my parents what happened about the billboard. And my mom does not normally have a very good poker face, but I looked her dead in the eyes, and I told her, yeah, we drove past this billboard, and I asked if we were going to see Falling in Reverse. But he said no, it'd be really cool though. She's like, oh yeah, I've never even heard of them. What kind of music is it? Like, played dumb, acted like she aced it. And meanwhile, Drew said the whole time he was like staring her down behind me to make sure she didn't fucking blow it.
Yeah. Well, Taylor and her mom, they seem very close. So
yes.
There's not a lot of secrets.
We didn't always be, but.
Yeah, there was a lot, like, I don't know if she knows how to keep a secret. It's the first time I ever asked her to do something like that. So she did good. Yeah, your mom played.
She passed the test.
Yeah, played her part well. Yes.
Yeah, that concert was amazing. It also really helped with like pulling me out of my funk that I was in.
Yes, that was what was awesome because we're like, I'm not into them. I'll just say that I'm not that I don't like them. I just am not into them. So
yeah, okay, yeah, like Falling in Reverse is definitely my kind of music. He's not into like the screamo heavy metal shit, but literally like 2 days later, maybe what was it? A couple days later, or was it later the next weekend?
It was a week later.
Yeah, literally a week later, I took him to go see Styx. So that's much more up his alley. I didn't even know this, but apparently he had seen him like 6 times before. I had never seen them. But man, oh man, both Falling in Reverse and Styx, they did one hell of a show.
Yeah, it was a great time both nights.
We had fun. Side note, we're fucking shit-faced right now, so this podcast may be pretty funny or it could be really weird, so I apologize in advance. I'm drinking gin, he's drinking beer, we've had tequila today. It's a good day.
It's been a good day.
It's been a good day. Today's gonna be a good day. That's not how it goes, but there's a rap song, you guys know what I'm talking about. Today
was a good day.
So this episode, we're gonna talk about death and dying. That's how I feel about it. I'm terrified of death and I'm terrified of dying.
Not me.
Which ironically, is like anytime I'm having a panic attack, it always starts with one of two thoughts. Either A, I'm having an aneurysm, my brain's going to explode and I'm going to die and I'm not going to be able to be rescued. Or B, oh my God, I'm having a heart attack. I'm having a heart attack. Oh my God, my arm's going numb, my chest is... But it's just the anxiety. It's just the fucking panic attack. So that happened to me yesterday. The heart attack one happened to me yesterday while I was driving on the fucking interstate. And it was terrifying. I went to Cedar Rapids from Des Moines to go see a buddy of mine. And on the way there, totally fine. I was booping and bopping to some music, singing and jamming the whole way there. I got there, I was totally fine. Went to lunch with a good buddy of mine that I hadn't seen in a really long time. You know, hung out for a couple hours. I'm starting to go on my way home, go down 380, hit I-80, and it's like, it literally felt like I was walking down the road and I literally just walked into it. It was literally like, boom. And it immediately started in my chest. My chest got really tingly. My arms got tingly. My legs got tingly. My face got tingly. Thank God there was an exit. I Snapchatted you. I had to pull over on the side of the road in some like fucking industrial parking lot. And I literally had to get out of my car and just sit in the grass until like the sensation in my body returned. And it was fucking terrifying. And I didn't have my anxiety pills with me, which was even more terrifying. But it was like, I downloaded this app. I started taking therapy. I started doing therapy.
That's one way to say it.
It's a drug.
Either way, I think you're good.
I had my first therapy session on Friday, and I am going into, like, that was, like, obviously the intro, and then I have my first official session coming up on Tuesday. And she recommended an app. I downloaded it, and it had some really cool tools to use while you're having a panic attack that were able to, like, help me calm down to be able to where, like, I could drive again. But then I had another panic attack about 15 minutes later. It was not fun. Having a panic attack while you're driving sucks anyways, but especially while you're on I-80.
Yeah. It's crazy.
But I'm doing better today. Today has been a good day. I started kind of feeling iffy this morning, but I took my pills and I've been okay since then. We went to the pool. I just ate a banana split. I had some birria tacos. It was delicious.
Yeah. Now, and you're drinking an amazing drink.
Now I've created this concoction. It is Tanqueray orange gin with, I don't know the brand, but some fucking grapefruit seltzer, which is fucking fantastic. A squeeze of fresh orange and then a sprig of rosemary. Cheers.
Fancy. I don't have one, but
I know.
I hope it's picking up the
I don't think it got the first one, but it definitely got that one.
No, the ice cubes clinking around in your glass. Yeah. No, it's real fancy over here.
ASMR.
Right
ASMR.
Yeah, that was. I mean, your
and
trip
you weren't
home,
even with me.
Yeah, your trip home. I mean, you kept me updated, which was nice.
You could track my location on Snapchat. Yeah.
I just noticed. I was like, okay, she's making progress. You had to pull over a couple times.
I told you the time that I was planning on being here, and then I was like, I'm running a little late. I only ended up getting here like 20 minutes later than I would have originally. It wasn't that bad.
That was my thing when I was like messaging you. It was like, well, I don't want to like. It was not a big deal. Not like I cared when you got home.
I made sure to wait until like the first time I pulled over at like a rest area, and you know, I got out of the car and just kind of like felt the sun on my face, took a couple deep breaths of fresh air, and that was enough. I felt fine. That's why I got back on the road. But then that second time when I sent you the snap of where I was, that's when my whole body went numb, and I was like, I have to get off the road right now.
It's such a I mean, I shouldn't say that.
It is crazy because I don't. And this is what
I've never had one.
My therapist put this really interestingly. Is that a word?
Interestingly?
Saying my therapist is very weird.
It's fine.
It's just, it feels weird. It's a weird mouth feel.
This is...
My therapist says.
This is the 2020s. It's normal.
Well, she was like, I'm sure a lot of the reason that you have anxiety is because you have it and you don't know why, and you spend all this effort trying to figure out why you're feeling this way, and that just makes you feel even worse. And I was like, holy fucking shit, you're right.
Yeah,
like
it's a spiraling,
literally just
deal.
like a snake eating its tail situation. Yeah.
It's
So
like...
I'm really excited. I really, really like it's through an app that I got through work. It's through my insurance, but the lady that they put me with, I was kind of skeptical at first, but our first meeting, like, we instantly clicked. She's got a bunch of cool, like, witchy tattoos. She's got a humsa on her wrist. She was talking about how she's got chickens. Her husband's in construction like you were.
Yeah.
We have a lot of similarities and commonalities, but she also seems like she's older than I am. I don't know her exact age, but I feel like she's in, like, her late 40s,
Don't give
early
away
50s.
too much about her.
I mean, I don't think they're going to know who she is by her age.
All right.
But...
like... 4 more episodes from now, you'll probably have a
oh my god!
you'll have a sponsorship.
Well, you were trying, like, I struggle with having friends, and I sometimes am very sad about the fact that I don't have as many friends as I wish that I did. And Drew, you know, after our first session, I was telling him about how much I thought she was so cool, she's so nice, and all this shit. And he's like, oh God, next thing you know, you're going to be saying you're friends, and she's your therapist, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Unhealthy, Taylor, unhealthy.
HIPAA. Don't forget about the HIPAA in the room. No, I mean, anytime, the fact that you have that service available to you I think is a big step. And
fuck yeah. I wouldn't have done it if it wasn't, because I've looked for a therapist dozens of times since we've been dating, but there's so many people out there. There's so many things that they're qualified that I have no idea, like, you know, Jerry Fitzgerald, ABCGFDMD, ABBZZY, like, what the fuck? And it's very overwhelming, and I would usually just get super fucking nervous and super anxious, and I would get super confused, and I would give up. I would stop. I'd just be like, whatever, fuck it. But this was literally through work. They randomly assign you with a person. If you don't like them, you can just readjust. They give you a snippet about what they do before they even talk to you. If that doesn't work, you readjust. Well, yeah. I got connected to like 3 or 4 different people before I even got connected to this lady that I talk to now, and so far it's been good.
Yeah. And I'm glad to hear that. I'm sure a big part of it is like it's all remote. Like you don't have to go.
But like I sometimes wonder if it might even be better if I did go in, because like we've talked about this before. I don't leave here that often. I work from home. Yeah. I order a lot of food. A lot of times we like, you know, groceries. I'll even have groceries get delivered. And it's like I don't go out like I used to. I don't go into a work environment, so I don't have that employee coworker camaraderie type shit, you know.
Yeah, it's a big change, you know, but sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
I can't wait to bring it up in therapy.
Like I'm envious. You know, I get up in the morning, I'm like, fuck, I gotta drive. Like I gotta go.
Yeah, I just have to wake up and take 15 steps to my office.
Yeah, in the winter, I gotta like warm the truck up, go scrape it off.
Yeah,
and shit. I'm like, fuck. But
my car's in the garage, so I don't have to worry about that.
But yeah, I mean, I couldn't imagine just going to not doing that, because I have been doing it for so long. It's a change,
and like that's like, you know, before COVID, I woke up. I showered, I brushed my teeth, I worked out, and then I showered, and then, you know, I made myself breakfast, I made myself coffee, and then I took my fucking ass to work. I didn't work until 11, so I had all this time to do this stuff. I had a routine. I was in really good shape when we first started dating, and then quarantine happened, and I got into a really fucking dark place mentally. And that's
when we started dating.
Yeah, it was. And I told you, like, I literally felt like my apartment was a prison, because my office was in my bedroom. I spent literally like 18 hours a day in my fucking room. I felt like I was trapped. I literally couldn't go anywhere because it was COVID. And you were amazing. You booked us a fucking suite at a casino, which was like, it helped me so much.
Yeah. I mean, my experience was totally different. I was considered an essential worker, so
I still worked. I just worked from home.
I mean, but as far as like any impact on any new protocols or yeah, switching to it's a pipe layer, so you can't lay pipe
You
at
are
home.
essential,
No.
yeah.
Yeah, you got to be down in the hole doing it. So no, nothing changed at all for me, and yeah, I just watched a lot of other people react to it, and for me, it was just I don't know, it was almost like it wasn't real because yeah, my work didn't change, and at that point, I was working a lot. I was super busy, and yeah, my hours were insane. I was working at like 2 a.m. and all
You
kinds
would work
of crazy
normal
stuff,
daily hours and then get on-call calls at like 2
Yeah.
or 3 in the morning, and you'd be out until 4 a.m., 5 a.m., and then have to go and start your fucking shift at 7 a.m. Yeah, it was a bitch, but you did it.
Yep. There's no other choice. Gotta do it, man. No, that was a crazy time. So we gotta wind this around to death.
I was just about to say, so while I was in a really dark place, I've never like been suicidal. I'm like the opposite of suicidal. I am terrified of dying. But like it's not just dying. Like I get that everything has to die. I get everything lives and dies. Like I understand that. My thing is like what happens after you die? I don't want to not be me anymore. I don't want to not like the not existing part terrifies me.
See, well, all right. Well, I think that's the big question for most people is what happens.
And nobody
after.
knows.
Yeah.
I mean, there's mediums and psychics and stuff who I listen. I don't know if you have ever heard of her, but Dolores Cannon. I've read a lot of her stuff and I've seen a lot of her seminars, and she has some pretty interesting insights as to what happens. And as crazy as this is going to sound, like a lot of the things that she describes, if you put it in like really basic, dumbed down like child terms, it's like that Jamie Foxx movie Soul on Disney Plus.
I haven't seen it.
We've watched it together like 3 times.
I haven't seen it.
Yes, you have, Drew.
I couldn't tell you anything about
dies.
it.
He's like a musician, and he dies, and he goes to the afterlife, and he wants to come back because he has a really big music deal on the line.
No. Oh, wait. I thought you were talking about.
It's an animation. It's not
the
live.
other movie.
What? Ray?
No, what's the one with the? It's like, oh, dude, what's his name? He's like they're in the afterworld, or it's
The afterworld. I like how you said
Spanish.
after.
Like the
What?
Spanish.
Oh, Coco.
Yeah, is that what it's called?
No, it's not Coco.
All right.
Anyways,
The plot line sounded similar.
not yeah. The thought of not existing terrifies me. Like, but I don't like. I want to know what fucking happens.
Well, I mean, I think, dude, this could get super deep. Do you want to get super
yeah,
deep with it?
I really
All
do.
right.
We've been drinking. Let's do this. Crack that fucking beer open.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
He called me mom earlier today at the store.
She told me to go to the car. What
I
else
was
was
like,
supposed
no,
to-
I said, you can. I gave him the keys. He's like, can I go to the car? I was like, yes, you can go to the car. And I gave him the keys.
I didn't say.
Yes, you fucking did. And he, oh my God, look, your beer made a frowny face. Eyes, nose, and a frowny.
The beer knows something I don't, apparently.
Anyways, he was walking to the car and he goes, thanks, Mom. And literally everybody in the fucking store turns around and looks at me and starts fucking laughing. Like, this man is clearly older than I am and he's calling me Mom. Why are you laughing?
Because it was funny.
It was funny. I laughed too. But, yeah, no, like, if you want to talk, like, deep shit, like, there was a conversation with a guy that I had who had pretty extensive surgery. He had a lot of medical conditions ever since he was a baby. And
so he saw the light.
no, the exact opposite.
Oh, he saw the other side.
He doesn't know what he saw, but he
shit.
said he died on the operating table and he was legally dead for 2 minutes.
Yeah.
He said that 2 minutes felt like literal eternity, and it was nothing but eternal darkness. There was literally nothing, he said.
Wow.
He wasn't like a human. He was just like basically a consciousness in a
see.
void. There was nothing to see. It was just literally nothing. I don't even know how to comprehend this.
Well.
But the whole time, he said he felt like something was watching him.
That's somebody you knew personally.
This is somebody I knew personally.
Trippy. Very trippy.
But you take that on the other side, and I don't, like, as long as I had ever known him, he was never really, like, super religious. But my grandmother, I had told you about this. My grandma was very much religious, like, you know, go to church, singing in the choir, all this shit. And she had a near-death experience, and then when she was on her deathbed, there were 2 instances where she basically almost died, and then one of them she did. Oh. The first instance, I guess she told my grandpa this, but she didn't tell anybody else. And then when she was on her deathbed, she told my grandpa that it was the same thing, and we didn't understand what it meant. And my grandpa basically told us that she said death felt like a warm hug. Like, she felt like somebody literally was just embracing her. She felt joy. She felt happiness. She saw family members that were dead that were welcoming her, and it was like a very joyous occasion.
How old was she?
She's in her 70s. Like,
and she'd been in, like, medical problems?
Yeah, she died of essentially old age. So her near-death experience required her to have, like, 80% of her colon removed. So she essentially already had issues, and then she was just kind of, like, surviving since then, more or less.
Gotcha.
But, yeah, she was, like, incontinent, had all these, like, special shit for her to get on the toilet and all this stuff. Yeah, it was a messy ending.
Good Lord.
But she said it was very nice to her. This just, like, makes me believe in, like, a little bit more of kind of what Dolores Cannon was saying, where you basically design your own afterlife. If you think you're going to be reincarnated into something, then that's what happens. If you think you're going to go to hell, then that's what happens. If you think you're going to go into heaven and there's 72 virgins for you, then that's what happens.
Gotcha. Yeah, I kind of believe that to a certain extent. Yeah.
Honestly, if that's how it is, then I'm A-okay with dying. But if it's not, and I just go into an empty void of nothing, that makes me want to shit my pants.
Well, the mind, can, you know, the way it plays tricks on you and can fool you sometimes, and like magic and misdirection.
But that guy was literally dead for 2 minutes.
No, I agree. Like, he must not have prepared. As far as that. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't see nothing.
He didn't have his affairs in order.
No. Your grandma had it figured out. She's
That's
like,
true. She was very spiritual.
I'm gonna fucking see this, and this.
Well, she was prepared. Like, even 10 years before she died, she'd tell my grandpa, "Don't do this at my funeral. Don't do this at my funeral. No red roses at my funeral."
That's what I'm saying. Like, your grandma.
I don't know why, but she didn't want red roses.
So the guy, whoever you were referencing earlier, maybe he just, like, it came out of
nowhere.
Never
thought of it. Yeah.
Really...
That would make sense. He was very young at the time.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I agree.
But then you also have to put into the theory of quantum immortality, where...
What the fuck? Throw the big crazy word out there out of nowhere. What's
this
that?
Is the Taylor Talking Podcast. What do you mean?
What's quantum?
So there are a few different variations of the theory, but the gist of it is that... if we're talking dumbed down child,
Please,
I'm
an idiot.
It's a video game and you respawn in a different reality.
Shit,
if me and you were talking and all of a sudden I had a heart attack and I died, in this reality it would be traumatizing for you, your life would be shook. In another reality, I would just continue sitting on the couch talking to you.
Right.
I would have no idea that happened.
Right.
So that's kind of what quantum immortality is.
But I would be...
In that reality, you would still be alive, and then in the other reality, me and you would both still be alive, continuing it as if that had never happened.
All right. Jesus.
Trippy. Now,
you got so much shit going through your
there's
head.
an even crazier version of
God.
that.
See, that's what I'm saying. You got so much shit in your head.
No wonder I have anxiety.
Exactly. What the fuck? I like to keep it very cut and dry. Like,
my brain never stops working.
I don't know. I mean... I got away from, I guess, my views, I don't know, on death, if that's what we're talking about, but they haven't really changed that much.
You seem like a pretty level-headed person when it comes to death. Like, you've accepted it's going to happen. You don't really seem to be afraid of it.
Well, you know.
I mean, I'm sure you have, like, your own human fears like anybody does.
The realist part of me, just like, so for me, I mean, I'm not even 40 yet. I'm a young man.
He's a year away from 40. 1 year away from 40 years old.
No, I have older parents, and my grandparents died when I was very young. I didn't even meet most of them because they passed before I was even
His
born.
dad's 83, his mom's in her 70s.
So, just that aspect of death and somebody else, having that transition and
it's hard.
It will be very hard.
Knowing that it's like, and my grandma didn't just go, like she was in hospice for about a week. So, and I physically watched her die in front of me, and it was really fucking hard.
Yeah.
I've never seen, I'd seen dead bodies at funerals, but watching somebody fucking die in front of you is way fucking different.
It sounds like, exactly, but like, it sounds like her journey with it, or her grasp
It's
on
very
it.
peaceful.
Okay. For her, it was, not...
She knew what she wanted. She had a will. She did not want to be resuscitated. She wanted to go. She was ready.
Do you feel like that's something, like, that's where you will be?
Oh, fuck no. I'll be terrified. I'll die terrified, and I know it.
Oh, man. Why?
That's why every time I have a panic attack, I told you, it's either I'm dying of a brain aneurysm or I'm dying of a heart attack. Those are the only two fucking emotions I get. Yeah. But either way, I'm dying. That's what it is.
Do you think her religion helped her in that?
I mean, yeah, for her probably, but that's not...
Well, do you think it helps, like, anybody who...
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Like, if we're talking about it... Like we said, there's theories where you create your own afterlife. Like, the people that are religious are probably going to have the most peaceful fucking afterlives ever.
There you go.
But then I think about myself as a very spiritual being and how we're all made of the same energy of the universe. And I just want to become, an omnipotent being. This is actually going back into the other quantum immortality theory, like the super fucking crazy one. It kind of weaves in reincarnation with that quantum immortality that I was talking about. So not only do you die and kind of respawn into a new life. But they say you respawn into a new life where you've learned something from the past, and you essentially keep respawning into a higher and higher and higher vibration until you yourself come back as God.
Yeah, that's all right.
That one's way crazy. I don't really believe in that one, but I do believe in because there's been instances where, like, I should have fucking died.
Oh my God, let's hear one. This is good.
They're drug related, of course. It's definitely overdose related. I should have fucking OD'd. Like, there's no way humanly possible I could have ingested. Like, I should have. And I could totally... This is the craziest part. I could see exactly where and how it happened in my head. I was at this fucking party. I had taken literally like a fucking handful of E. I had done, I don't even know how many grams of fucking blow. I had been drinking, and I saw it on, like, I was like having an out-of-body experience. I saw myself just start ODing on a fucking chair.
Jesus.
But here I am, alive and well, never OD'd in my life by some fucking miracle.
But it never crossed your mind, like, as you were eating the pills, like, this could be it.
I mean, yeah, but here's the craziest thing. When I was in my 20s, I didn't give a fuck. I thought about killing myself all the time because I was so fucking miserable, but I never fucking, like, attempted to. I never did it. But it's because of the situation I was in. I was so miserable. Like, I thought about driving my car into the fucking canyons. Jeez. I thought about drowning myself in the fucking ocean. Like, I thought about jumping off a fucking cliff. But I never would, because the thought of fucking dying terrifies me. But back then, I didn't give a fuck. I would do all the drugs. I would do all the crazy shit because I didn't expect to live past 25.
That's like,
and now here I am at 32, and I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
Yeah, you're like, I didn't expect to make it.
Right, like, what do I do? How do I life right now?
I hate to say it, but just relax.
I know, I don't know how.
Just fucking relax.
I don't know how.
Just chill out, enjoy it. Like, you're crushing it. You're doing good at work.
Yeah.
We're having good weekends all the time.
We are.
Things are fun. I don't know. I mean, I'm lucky to an extent where my younger years were chaotic, and I never thought about ever hurting myself or anything like that. But
I would never say that I was suicidal because it was more just thinking of the act. I would never actually do it, but I thought about it a lot.
Yeah, the point of life was a constant kind of a thought, you know, like, why am I here? What
Right.
am I doing?
What's my purpose?
Yeah.
That's what I'm going through now.
Does God exist? Is this all fucking, is this the Matrix? Are we in a
Yeah.
fucking Matrix? Like, you know, shit like that. Like,
we live
really,
in a simulation.
Yeah, really deep thoughts. But I don't know, now, just, you know, getting a little bit older. Not that much older, but.
He's 1 year away from 40, just a reminder.
But just, yeah, slowing down and realizing, like, all right, I made it through the fucking crazy shit. I'm in it for the long.
That's true. You're almost halfway there.
Yeah, I'm in it for the long haul. My dad, I mean, watching him, because, you know, my dad is older. He had me when he was in his 40s.
Mid 40s, yeah.
So he was 60 when I graduated.
That's insane.
Right, so I'm like he's gonna die any year now. He's gonna fucking kick the butt. I know it is. It is fucking terrible. But because he, you know, he didn't have as similar as a path as me, but
right,
definitely was not he didn't have a clean life. You know, he drank for years and smoked for years and, you know, all that stuff. So I don't know. It just, didn't really think I was going to make it past a certain age, but now I'm like, I made it and I want to extend this as long as I can. So,
yeah,
you know, yeah, different mindset, maybe more depressed, you know, or just had a different outlook on life. And now it's like, all right, let's ride this thing till the fucking wheels fall off.
Going out with a bang.
I'm trying. It's like you got to outlive my dad. So like, now I you got to hit at least. I don't know. He's 83, so that motherfucker better not go to 90.
Oh my god.
I know it's morbid.
That's terrible.
I know, but
oh my god! But here we are laughing at it. Yeah.
Fucking beer.
Oh my god, that's funny as fuck. So, what do you think happens after you die?
Well, for me, I mean, I guess I'm in the route of you do the right thing, you give it up to somebody higher than you, and at the end of it all, there's some satisfaction. Or
so you believe in a heaven and a hell?
The hell part is, you know what, honestly...
Do you think Earth is hell?
Man, fuck that. All right.
Yeah,
so
give it to me raw.
I believe in fucking hell.
Okay.
I do. I believe in both of those things because for me, there is a dichotomy of like good and evil.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you're with that, then I feel like there's a judgment of some type that should happen because people do it all the time. Like we do it like every 30 seconds. Well, and the
Egyptians always, like, they would weigh the heart with the feather. Like, there's always been some form of judgment to determine what happened after you die.
No, I mean, I don't know what the Egyptian with the feather thing is, but
they would take your heart and they would put it on a scale with the feather of whatever the fuck. I forget what it was called. And if your heart was heavier than the feather, that meant you had, like, too much shit going on. And if your heart was the same weight as the feather, that meant you were spiritually ready to pass on to a higher afterlife.
How many people made it through that?
I'm sure quite a bit. I don't know.
Really?
I don't know the stats.
And a feather?
It's a fucking ancient Egyptian thing. Like, I'm not saying it's a literal. Plus, it's the after. Like, this is something they would do in the afterlife. Like, after you had died and passed, before you could go into the pearly gates or whatever the fuck, they actually referenced it in a show on Disney Plus. I forget what it was. It was like a fucking Marvel show or something. We watched it. We didn't finish it. But yeah, there's like a hippo. It's like a fucking Egyptian goddess. And she like takes the heart and weighs it with the feather. And he doesn't pass. So he's got to like go back and fix all his shit before he can go pass. And anyway.
Okay. So, back to good and evil. Heaven and hell, right?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I feel like there is a certain place carved out. And I don't know. It's just not the fear of it, but just the, you have so much time on this planet.
Yeah.
In this realm, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And you have free will. You have the...
Do we?
Oh God, here we go.
Well,
yes.
no, let me,
yes,
I have, you believe in God. And if God has a plan and God knows everything that's going to happen, then how do you have free will? He already knows what's going to happen. That's not you deciding. That's him knowing and letting it happen. If he didn't want it to happen, he would choose it. And either way, if you veer from that path, he's still all-knowing and omnipotent and everything, so he knew anyway. So, like, is that really free will?
I mean, I was more talking like I feel like I have free will. Like I have the ability to sit here and do this podcast, or I could stand up and throw this glass of water into your aquarium and shatter it and have all the water go all, like, you know what I mean? Like there's the free will that we have to.
But if you
Follow.
believe in God, God would have known that you were going to get up and shatter the aquarium, and by your beliefs, he would have known that you would have done that for a higher purpose for you. Is that wrong?
That's not my. I guess that's not my version of how God works, or how,
Okay.
you know, for me,
I'm just
saying
putting in
it's
like
wrong.
the fate and free will type shit. Like you said,
Yeah.
free will, and then I kind of.
Well, I mean, are you talking more about like terrible things that happen, and like why did God allow that to happen, or is that kind of where
Well,
you're
no,
going?
you just said free will, and I was like,
I
well,
meant in
how is
my
it free
life.
will
I
if
meant
your
in my
life is
life.
planned out and already known what's going to happen?
Oh well, it's. I feel like I have free will in my life, and
I'm not saying that you don't. I'm just asking a question, like theologically speaking.
oh.
I'm not trying to like come at you or anything. I don't want you to feel attacked. That's not the point of this.
So the question is, if I really had free will, or how can I have free will? Because God supposedly is all-knowing and all,
And already has your life mapped out for you and planned out for you.
so I don't have free will.
I'm not saying that you don't. That's just like a question. Like, is that like you clearly don't believe that? You got uncomfortable.
Well, I mean, like, I don't know what you're quoting right now. Like,
I'm not
you're-
quoting anything. I'm quoting
Okay.
myself.
Oh, that's your version. Like, that's how you see believing in
I'm just
God.
asking you a question. I don't. This isn't how I believe in anything. I was
Well,
just curious.
Okay, so I'll just talk about my relationship. Like, I grew up similar to you, very Christian household, and my dad was very involved, and I was to a certain degree when I was younger, and then obviously there was a break from it, but it was always kind of in the back of my mind, and now that's something that I don't talk about that often with you.
I know. I don't know
Yeah.
why. Like, you can.
Well, it's become, I don't know, more of something that's not so like I have to talk about it. It's just something that works for me, and really, honestly, as far as not having free will, I think everybody has free will. And this, I would like, the original thing was like evil, like heaven and hell. So, yeah, I think your choices that you make and how you treat people, I think there needs to be a right and a wrong to things, and there are a right and a wrong to things, and that's something I think should not be lost in the blitz of things that are coming in from all angles.
Okay,
Like,
so I
there
have
is
another
a
question.
Yes, there is a yes and a no to certain things, and it is flexible in some ways.
Okay,
but
so then I have a question.
Yeah.
If, you know, Christianity says God has a path for you, everything that happens to you is because God has a plan for you, and everything that happens to you is for a reason because of God's plan.
Yeah.
But you're saying there's a good and an evil, there's a yes and a no. So if somebody's born and God knows everything about what's going to happen to everybody, he already knows from the moment they're born that they're evil or good and they're going to go to heaven or hell. So what's the point of anything that they do in their life?
I don't know. I mean, I think whatever you're pulling from.
This is just my
Yeah,
own
so-
brain. I don't know what you're
okay.
trying to like accuse me of right now.
All right. Well, I mean, if
These
we-
are my
so
own
if we're
thoughts that
talking-
I'm asking you about.
So, all right. So, like in that situation, serial killers are God's fault, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
If he knows everything and he created man, especially in his image, then yes, serial killers are his fault. He made them for a reason. Specifically, he knew what they were going to do. He could have stopped it and he didn't.
We're omitting somebody that's very important out of this conversation.
Okay, if the devil is automatically the bad guy, then you know he's not going to do anything to stop it. If God, Jesus, whatever was supposedly the good guy, he would stop it, and he doesn't. So here's my theory. there's nobody. There is no God or Jesus. I do believe in a higher power. I do believe in a higher power. I don't believe in Jesus and the devil. I believe there's a bad guy and I believe there's a good guy. I believe there's different entities of different attitudes, but like Jesus and Lucifer specifically, I don't know if I believe, because the Bible is literally just a fucking lie of regurgitated Catholics. So, in my opinion, that's just my opinion. Anyway, you look a little upset.
No, I'm fine.
No, I'm fine. Clutches his beer can.
No. I mean, there's the original question is like, what do you believe in a heaven and hell? And I think you do, to a certain extent, maybe.
I mean, I believe there's a place that bad people go, and I believe there's a place that good people go, but I don't think, quote unquote, Jesus is the one that decides that.
Well, yeah, I mean, my belief is not...
I'm not trying to, like, judge you for your beliefs, so please don't feel like that.
Oh, I don't feel like you're judging me. I just feel like if...
I used to feel exactly the way you did.
Like, boxed in to where, I said the words, I believe in God, and now it's, so you believe this, and this. And I think everybody is...
I wasn't saying that you believed that way. I just had actual legitimate thoughts that I wanted to ask you.
Well, I believe I have free will, and I don't think things are that predetermined as far as the actions that people can do on a day-to-day basis. You can decide to rob somebody, assault somebody, all types of different bad things that are bad things, and it doesn't have to be boiled down to whether or not Jesus said it was bad or not. It is what it is. So yeah.
Alrighty.
I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Well, that got awkward. Don't sit on Tito. Oh my God, he almost killed Tito. Slide.
Unharmed.
So yeah, death and dying and destruction and decay.
Trying to get back to it, off the religious shit. When you die, what do I think happens to me when I die, or you or anybody? I really agree with kind of how you think.
Like you kind of like make your own afterlife.
I feel like you condition your brain. If you're super, religious, whether you're Christian, Islamic, whatever it may be. Yeah, you make all that, like, your subconscious is a very powerful thing,
Absolutely.
You're laying in bed, it's late at night, you hear a fucking creak in the dark, you're like, oh my God.
It's a monster!
Yeah, so I feel like I do agree to a certain extent, like, whatever your belief system is, as the lights are shutting off, it's going to be like, all right, roll the fucking end credits. And you've created those in your head.
Yeah.
So I agree. I really do agree with that. But so, back to religion for just a second.
Yeah.
If it gives you that comfort and that relief and that like you said with your grandmother, the peace or whatever.
Right.
And most of them are pretty decent to live by. For a lot of people don't actually live by the code that it is, but for the most part, don't steal, don't kill, all that shit. It's not a bad way to live.
Not at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm not gonna have 79 virgins or whatever you said earlier. I think that was the number you said.
I said 72.
Fuck. All right.
I don't even know if that's the right number.
That's not.
Is it 79?
I have no idea.
I thought it was 72.
I think it's 99.
I don't think that's right.
Fuck.
I think you're way wrong.
All
I think
right.
I'm right, and you just can't admit it. He almost spit water out.
Yeah. I would never spit beer out.
It was water, for sure. Definitely. So, on a happier note...
Nothing? She's got nothing. It's beautiful outside.
We had a great day. We went to the pool. We ordered some pho. It was so fucking good. And then we went and got a banana split at our local ice cream shop. It was lit, fam.
You can't hear me, but I'm shaking my head.
He shook his head and rolled his eyes so hard.
Oh, they hurt.
He does that a lot. I can't wait to tell my therapist about you. I'm just kidding.
Just pull me in on the call. I'll be like, hi. Come in from the screen.
I've already mentioned you a few different times.
I know.
I know. God. Yeah, I thought you'd be happy about me being in therapy.
I think that's an amazing step. Like, because we're wired different, you know.
Oh, for sure. We learned that earlier in this episode.
Yeah. A lot of different ways. You know, I have my own therapist. Wink, wink. Sorry. I'm sorry.
You talking about fucking Tito?
Yes, Tito.
Or are we talking about my vagina?
No, I was talking about God.
Oh.
Oh! What the fuck? Yeah.
Oh, that went way over my head.
Yes, it did. It's because you're way below. What the fuck?
Or were you talking about my vagina?
Yeah. Jesus. I'm sorry, Jesus.
I'm not. Oh my god. I already know I'm going to hell.
Oh no, don't say that.
Do you think I'm going to heaven?
I think you're a good person. It's not such a like. My religion is not like by the book. It's because obviously I have fucked up a lot. You know?
Sure.
You know, and I'm not perfect. I still do stupid shit. You know, I fucking flip out every once in a while. But it's just more of like just the overall somebody, you know, bigger than you. Things do not go my way, have not gone my way most of my life. So it's not like I haven't had one of those sunshine, daisy type of experiences. You know what I mean? Like, it's been a lot of times where it was like, what the fuck is going on? I can't catch a break. But, you know, you realize it's like, all right, you're shooting yourself in the foot a lot, you know. You're shaking your fist at the heavens, but you're doing a lot of shit fucking stupid. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I to be honest with you, like, I had experience before we started dating, probably a year or so before we started dating. Very, like, I don't think I've ever told you about this. Have I ever told you
I don't
about
know.
this? You know, I don't think I've told you about this, just looking at you right now.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, just had an experience, you know, was in not a very good place and was looking to kind of figure things out and just didn't know which way to go, and things were not looking. I mean, my job was going good, but I was super fucking lonely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just not good. I was basically my brother. Mm-hmm. But, you know, me.
Yeah.
And yeah, something happened to me a couple times and really made me think about stuff.
Who hurt you, Drew?
Nothing happened to me. I was driving home from work both times, and I don't know if it's just a train of thought or something really did come into me and really. Yeah, I've never told you about this.
No, please continue.
Yeah, it's just it was surprising that it was exactly what I thought it was going to be, you know, like, yeah, just an experience that let me know that I'm not alone. As far as if there's something bigger than me that I need to fucking lay shit on, I don't have to lay it on to you. I don't have to lay it on to anybody else. If I just want to fucking go somewhere and just fucking throw it out there and see what comes back, I can do that. And yeah, and at the end of the day, it makes me feel better.
I bet.
Okay.
I bet. That sounds great.
Yeah, this mental health thing, like, as far as this thing that I just said thing, I just meant, like,
I get it.
The last, you know, obviously the pandemic and all that stuff, but the mental health crisis that there really does exist one here in the United States right now. The rates of suicide and depression in people is through the roof. And a lot of people do find some kind of relief through religion and stuff like that, but I got lucky, honestly.
I found relief through witchcraft.
I was just driving home, and it just kind of happened. It was not, you know, I didn't get on, you know, the internet and look for something. It just fucking happened one day. It was
like,
very weird.
I'm very much a spiritual person. Like I said, I believe there is a higher power out there. I believe there is somebody that is watching everything and, you know, is going to be that determining factor of what happens when we die. But I don't know what that is. I'm so fascinated by death, and it's so funny because I'm so terrified of it. But it intrigues me. Like, I'm so curious about what fucking happens. And I just want to know. So you guys should send an email to talking@taylortalking.com and let me know what you think that what happens in the afterlife. And follow me on TikTok, which is taylor.talking, because I want to hit 1,000 followers and go live. I'm at like 470 followers. We're getting so close.
Shit.
I know. Getting really close. Taylor.talking. Go follow me. All of the other episodes of our podcast, of my podcast, are at taylortalking.com. Make sure to check that out. I don't know what the next episode's going to be about yet, but...
you're going to have a special guest on the next one.
Oh, yeah, Patrick. I'm going to try to have Patrick on the next episode. We might even be able to record it with video. I found a platform that I might be able to test out. I have to play with it, but stay tuned because cool things are coming. Cool things are coming. I don't know what else to say, so I think that's the end of the episode. Peace.